robust conversation. Some of the most beautiful minds in this country are in the room. Let me introduce you to the panelists. I have joining us an economist, Dr. Paul Alaje. Thanks so much indeed for joining us on this very important conversation. And also, I have joining us Mr. Chibuzo Michael. Thanks so much for coming. And we have Mr. Baba Yusuf. Thank you so much, Mr. Baba Yusuf. And of course, Mr. Taiwo Yedele, who introduced earlier, and the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Yakubu Dogara. Now, before, thank you so very much. You look like you are representing the young demography of the nation. So we have a balanced distribution of panelists. Mr. Baba Yusuf is the Group CEO, Global Investment and Trade Company. I also saw one of your intervention, which made me to call you.
Thank you.
So can you give us an understanding? Are you agreeing with Chibuzo in his own, he says that it's a good bill. Anything you see that is controversial?
Thank you very much, Sheung. It's good to be here. Today is a landmark day for Nigeria. I want to say straight ahead that this reform is one of the best reform that has been undertaken by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And by the way, for the purpose of disclosure, I'm a Northerner, I'm a Muslim, I'm from Kano State. I want to commend the Presidential Committee, represented here by the Chairman, Mr. Oyedele, for doing an excellent job. And I'll tell you why, my fellow Northern Nigerians. I would like to refer us, because I got a bit worried, Sheung, when I saw the reactions of political leaders and other interested parties from Northern Nigeria, and it triggered me to have to speak to our people on my podcast, Reflections with Baba Yusuf, on a topic called, Dear Northern Nigeria, what have we done to ourselves? This is not the first time, but it's becoming a cyclical reaction that I think will not take us anywhere as a people. This reform, I dare say, as a Nigerian, as a patriot, and for those that know me, know that when I speak, I shoot straight. The Northern Nigeria will be one of the best beneficiaries of this reform. This reform is a reform of balance. It's a reform that speaks to equity. It's a reform that speaks to data and has provided a platform for improvement going forward. And I'll speak to 4 critical points out of this bill, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1, I will take it off from what my co-panelists mentioned about the multidimensionally poor Nigerians, over 133 according to MBS last year, over 133 million, out of which over 70% are from Core North, right? And we have also heard from Chairman of the Presidential Committee highlighting those that are exempted from tax. And to that extent, I agree with my panelists that about 90% of the vulnerables will be exempted from this tax. So as a Northerner, where about 70% of the multidimensionally poor are resident and surviving and struggling under the vagaries of socio-economic headwinds, it should be pleasing to our leaders that where we have failed as subnationals, there is federal intervention to provide that which have not been provided by state governors. Secondly, I also noted in the bill the contentious issues of VAT. And mine is very simple. I am a strong proponent, surprisingly to a lot of Northerners, of allocation by derivation or allocation by consumption. Why? Because this rent-seeking transactional commission collection style of leadership will continue making people lazy and will make us complacent and forget the principles of leadership. The 3 cardinals of principles of leadership, fellow Nigerians, are value creation, value innovation, and value protection. And to my mind, these kind of reforms are the kind of reforms that will ease out politicians that go into power for the purpose of rent-seeking and commission collection. And if the argument is, without conceding, that this tax reform will reduce the inflow of the monthly allocation, whereby governors go cap in hand monthly to collect this as the only means of survival to the extent will not pay salary. I worry then to ask myself, why do people aspire to become leaders if they cannot create value, if they cannot innovate? Indeed, some of the states in Nigeria are even bigger than some countries around the world who are thriving. Why? Because they create the value, they innovate, and they protect the value. So, if you look at the VAT, what has been done with this VAT is that the derivation, allocation by derivation or consumption, however we want to presupposes that for the site in Sokoto where BUA is extracting Sokoto and doing Sokoto cement, for example, whereby the current policy says the headquarters of BUA is in Lagos and almost the entire VAT goes to the headquarters. Now it's telling us that a chunk of that is going back to Sokoto, not all of it going to Lagos. Is that a value addition? In my own just simple arithmetic, the people of Sokoto should be clapping and singing to the high heavens that now they have an opportunity for them to add value. The same thing with my state, Kano. If you look at the subscription, MBS listed subscription of the MTN subscribers for last year. Lagos, 26 million subscribers as of Q1 last year. Ogun State was next with 13 million, over 13 million. Kano, listen to this, over 12 million. Of course, Bayelsa 1.6 and Ebonyi 1.6. What this new reform is telling us, my dear brothers and sisters in the north, is MTN will now not pay VAT only to Lagos. It means these 12 million subscribers will be accounted for and prorated and be sent back to Kano, for example. Whereas, as it is today, almost all the states lose to Lagos, just as an instance. And you can go on and on with these instances. Right. I think one of the problems is, I will land with this, we should read these bills because we don't read them. Unless we read them, we will not understand the value. And citizens should read the systems and not the bill and not wait for political leaders to advise them.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Baba Yusuf. Well, we're just getting